What's up YouTube, my name is Galvanize and today I bring you the exact loot from 5,000 Abyssal Demons, specifically the Abbey Demons located in the Catacombs of Courant. I chose the demons because I might as well get some charges and some totems so that I can fight Scotizo afterwards, instead of the regular ones which do not drop them. And even though they are slightly stronger than the lower level ones, because they're in multi I can stack multiple Abbeys and AFK a lot easier with Protect from melee. So this is a setup that I'll be using, focusing on melee, and as for the weapon I'll just stick to a regular whip to keep it simple. Obviously there's room for improvement in this setup, but I figured I don't really mind because I plan on AFKing. Alright, so before we began we obviously had to set our Abyssal Demon counter down to 0. So here it is, resetting, making sure that it's completely zeroed out. So here's the collection log. Under the Abyssal Sire you can actually track also your Abyssal Demon uniques. It'll track both for you. So as you can see, these are the current items that we currently have unlocked, and I expect the whip numbers to increase. I kept my inventory streamlined, so I use the herb sack, gem bag, and the soul bearer just to keep everything tidy. Keep in mind that because I'm picking up everything that they drop, I will be banking a lot more often than someone that would just alch rune items mid-trip, and also that wouldn't pick up obviously the lower end items. So starting off the 5k, we managed to get very lucky in the very first few trips. We get our first whip not too long into the kills, maybe 100 kills in, and not too long after that we get our second whip on the same exact trip. Man, when you do a lot of kills on a certain monster, getting drops early on certainly helps, and this is what I'm talking about right here. An Abyssal Head, the second rarest item from the Abyssal Demons, coming in at 1 in 6k I believe loot chance. We managed to get that as well within the first 1k kills. And like I said, getting loot drops early on really motivates you to kind of keep going, as opposed to getting a dry streak early on. I did go on a few dry streaks as well though. You know, that's the case with averages, they even out eventually, so I do go on a bit of a dry streak before I get my next item, which is okay. But if you're wondering, if I do get the rarest item, the Abyssal Dagger, which is 1 in 32,000 from these Abyssal Demons, I gotta tell you, I do in fact get one Abyssal Dagger. And look at this thing is so beautiful. I was so surprised to get this. I was not expecting, I didn't really know what to expect coming into this 5k, but getting the Abyssal Dagger, which is 1 in 32k, was not something I really expected. The equivalent of getting a Dragon Chain body from Dust Devils, so that's definitely one thing I can knock off my RNG bucket list, my collection log. But if you ever do find yourself wanting to do catacombs, you can also do these much faster if you were to obviously mage them with blitz or barrages. The way I chose to do it was just the most AFK friendly for those that are training other accounts, or that prefer to chill and watch movies or TV or what have you. This is how the loot tab was looking about 70% of the way through. It's always fun seeing how your stacks of items grow over time. So I recommend definitely having some space saving items like what I have in my inventory, just to keep the trips as lengthy as possible. Also, I forgot to mention, but in total for supplies I spent about 2 mil for the divines and the super restores. Preferred weapon of choice for specking is obviously the Sarasor, just to extend the trips as much as possible. And also, if you're running through the dragons, make sure to bring some sort of food, because I believe they can kill you if they hit high enough on those 2 hits that they have on you. So either bring some anti-fire or just bring some extra food with you. So after going for another 1,000 kills on a dry streak, I always kind of stayed on the edge of the drop rate. The drop rate being 1 in 512 for the whips. I feel like I would always just get 2 whips right away and then go 1,000 dry and then get another 2. And on top of that, there are plenty of troll drops from the rare draw table. And by troll I mean, you know, fairly rare as well, such as the Rune Battle Axe 1 in 2.7k. And plenty of other rune items that I received that were 1 in 4k. So rarer than the whips, you should expect to receive those regardless. They're not going to replace the whip drops, they're just going to be in the background as well. Alright, there we have it, 5k Abbey Demons slayed. Let's go ahead and get out of here finally. and let's see the loot. Alright, so now we're ready for the best part. We're gonna go ahead and price check the whole loot tab that we managed to obtain from all these abbeys. So here's the collection log. Like I said earlier, even though it's under the sire log, it still will count all your Abyssal Demon loot drops from there as well. So here we have 10 whips, the Abyssal Dagger, and the Abyssal Head. And let's go ahead and check the streak on the Abyssal Demons. And as you can see, the Abyssal Demons is at 5k now. So let's go ahead and take a look at the loot tab. There's the exact loot from 5k Abbey Demons. Alright, so I reorganized the loot tab just to make it a lot more visually appealing to see everything. So I have the rarer items up top, the more expensive ones, and I have the cheaper or trash loot more at the bottom, just to make these price checks a lot easier to keep track of. So let's just get started. Okay, so here's the first price check with the cash stack included. The cash stack was 337k, along with all the gems, the lower tier loot. There's everything. Here's all the steel battle axes, the black weaponry, uncut gems, and we were lucky enough to get a cut dragonstone as well, which is pretty rare. So this first price check is 654k 921. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. Alright, now let me just convert these coins to platinum tokens to not get it mixed up. And we'll have to round that down to 337k. I'm gonna put all this back in here. Now let's get everything else. Alright, now we'll go all the way up to the rune items and we'll do the final price check with the uniques. Alright, nice. So the second price check comes out to 4.1 mil. These are all the herbs. The reason why I have this one separately is because I accidentally cleaned it. So with the rune chain bodies, that's 1.5 mil just from those. So most of the money is going to be coming from that. Runes make a big part of that as well, with blood runes being the most valuable, 430k for that stack. And the herbs, the Ranars, really came in almost with 650k in value. But yeah, these rune items actually do account for a lot of that money. So we'll write that down. Alright, and now for the final price check with all of the uniques and the heads included. Obviously the Abyssal head is non-tradable, so I'm just going to leave that in there. And 9 whips, 1 dagger, and 201 heads equals 28.4 mil. Not too bad, actually. The heads are pretty uncommon, but they're actually pretty good money right there, obviously. So we'll add that. Alright, now I'm just going to add up all the totals to get our final theoretical price. So our total calculated price from all the price checks equals 33.2 mil. Now I may not get that much, but let's go ahead and sell everything now just to see what we end up with. Alright, so that's all the loot sold from the Abyssal Demons. I have the cash here, which amounted to 32.9 mil. We'll just round that up to 33 mil, which is not too far off of what we calculated, but that's to be expected when you're dealing with the GE. So that's actually, I think, very good money for AFK training, as well as gaining totems and arc light charges. So I would definitely recommend going to Catacombs for Abyssal Demons over going to any other place, just because it's more AFK, because you can just stack, just because it's fairly, you know, there's no other players you really have to deal with anyways. So definitely, if you're looking to kill Abyssal Demons for AFK training / money, I recommend Catacombs 100%. But as a bonus, I did receive those totems. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off these Scotizo kills, and hopefully I can gain the pet. I don't have the pet yet. And on top of that, I'm just going to do the clues as well. Okay, so we finished with Scotizo. All 4 kills, we received only hard clue scrolls. Unfortunately, no pet. This is the regular loot. 925k, not bad. So that's another almost 1 mil. And let's go ahead and open these caskets from the hard clue scrolls. And the last one giving us alright, that's another 325k just from just the clue loot. All in all, we had 1.2 mil from the Scotizo kills. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do plan on doing some more loot videos in the future, so hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Peace.